And then there was a trainer, and he was, you know, talking you through it. And then his girlfriend was I guess she was the co-owner, but she worked at the front desk. And then afterwards you could talk and chit chat about, you know, your eating habits and things like that. And it was really great because it was a community. I was going in sometimes twice a day when I could do it, but definitely at least, you know, 4 to 5 times a week. I was getting a really great workout, but then I was also getting that feedback, you know, and I don't have that here. Like, you know, the gym here is really not that great. And I really like the group classes. I don't just like to go in and use a machine and, you know, with my headphones on. So, and then, you know, with my job, I've had, you know, some days I start working at 6:30 in the morning. And so, you know, that's my workout time before I, you know, so things have been crazy, and I'm going through the change. So the big M has hit me, perimenopause, and that's caused me, you know, some issues there as well, just with just general energy and mood and all of that. And then hormones are up and down, so I've gained weight. And but I think the most important thing that I've found is that through all of that, just to keep doing something every day, whether it's walking or just finding a 30-minute video to follow on YouTube and go with that. I have two women that I follow pretty regularly on YouTube, and you know, and then just trying to keep a routine going, because it's not just about my physical body, but it goes into my mental health. Like, if I'm not doing those things, then I start feeling bad about myself, and then it becomes a cycle, you know. It just kind of keeps spiraling from there. And then when I start feeling bad about myself, then I start making unhealthy food choices, and it just all, you know, one after the other, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, I had a bag of chips for lunch today. Great.
Well, moderation.
Yeah.
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 This is nice. This is nice. So Ghenet has the woods and like the mountains so close to her. So I envy that. I think that's awesome. I'm in the city, so looking out my window, I could see 2 of my neighbors' houses right now. So when the weather permits, what my nice little oasis and getaway is going into the backyard, sitting on my swing with a hammock chair, trying to work in my garden. I started a garden. It's not the most beautiful thing.
Down, yes.
Yes. So there's definitely a learning curve to that. And when I finish school, I'm looking forward to actually being able to learn it the right way, so it starts doing what I want it to do.
Yeah. Gardening is not easy. I mean, people say like, oh, you just plant it in the ground and water it and it's fine. It's like, no, it's not that easy. I mean, yes, but then at the same time, it's like certain plants like certain types of weather. And then if it's too moist and they're not getting enough sun to dry it out, it can develop a fungus or a mold. And then there are critters. I had this beautiful pumpkin patch, and I was so excited. I had so many pumpkins, and they got destroyed by what are they called? Vine borers. So these are like flies that will lay their larvae, their eggs in the soil, and then it will get inside the vine of the pumpkins. And then they will hatch out and they will eat the inside of the vine, which then kills the vine and then eventually kills the pumpkins. So I didn't know any of that. And then there were also the thing called the squash bug that will eat the leaves and the vines on the outside of the pumpkins. And I had no idea. So I would see these bugs, these flies, and just thinking, oh, that's just nature. Look at those pretty cute little white flying things. I didn't have butterflies, they were insects, but I was just trying to be all one with nature, and it killed my plants. So yeah, so it takes time. I think I went to a conference last year, and they said it takes about 2 years of when you first start to really figure out what works for you, what doesn't work, and you have to figure out what grows well in your area and what doesn't, and what you like to grow. You might find that you love growing flowers and edible herbs and things like that, but it's too time consuming to grow vegetables or something like that. So you just have to figure out what works really well for you. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. It's good to know.
You have some nice mountains, right? There's mountains in Michigan. Or am I thinking Missouri?
We have the pictured rocks.
Yeah.
I did that, and that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like 5 hours away from me.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're just like right in the middle of the city. Yeah. It's like when I lived in Florida, people like, oh, you've got the beach. And it's like, that is the only nature we have. We have nothing else in South Florida. It's all city.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can do your walks around your neighborhood if you feel comfortable doing that. When I first started walking, I walked in my neighborhood, and then I would walk at the park, and I would just get up early and go walk at the park. And I've done that here a couple of times. The Duck River is close by where I live, and I've gotten out there early enough, where I could go get a good 4 laps in, which is about 3 miles. No, take it back, 2.5 miles. And then get home and get working. But last week that did not happen.
Yeah, you had a busy week. Yeah. So did I. We both had a busy week, which is why we're trying to do something just kind of small, low maintenance, at least to start, and see how that works out.
Yeah. And then, anyone who's watching, if you have any questions or topics that you would like addressed, whether it's mental health or physical fitness or how do you manage a workout schedule with children, whatever it is, let us know, because then we can incorporate that in our next live, because that would be great to hear from you guys and get your feedback on things. Yeah.
Agreed. And I'm going to start inviting more people to the group. Right now, we pretty much just have the people in Annetta's group, who I've been working with in her coaching program, and yourself, and like my friend Melissa. So we'll have more people and hopefully more feedback, so we know what they want to hear about. For me, I'm working on learning more about how to share my passion of personal growth, to become a personal growth coach. So I'm starting to practice. So that's something that is near and dear to me, and something that's different for me than a lot of people apparently, is because my decline in mental health is what got me to the personal growth path. And a lot of people have just told me those things don't go together. I'm like, well, for me, they're hand in hand.
Yeah. In your journey, and I have your book. Hold on, I've got it. I'm like, where did I put it? But I see it. There it is. I know, I keep it close by. Right there, yours. And the grace and openness with which you share your experience is so beautiful, because a lot of people who have gone through things, and myself included, can be very hesitant about saying I've had this issue, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think they say this in different programs, like the first step to recovery is to admit, admittance, and then you can accept, and then you can move on. And I just think it's amazing, your bravery of being able to share your story and have such a positive outlook of yourself and outlook of life, it really shows that, yeah, we all have issues. We all can go through challenging times, and it's not fun, because when you're dealing with something that's inside your mind, like, how do you fight that? It's literally, it's not something that you can pick up or put down. It's there all the time. So it's really encouraging to others to be able to just face it and kind of move forward and do what it takes, to get to the next step, whether that is, medication for some people. I mean, that is a viable solution to get you started, and then add in all of the other avenues as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ghenet, and I'm really, really glad that it's helped your daughter and that you've come back to, different chapters a few times. It's kind of nice to hear you say about how sharing and being like open with it and knowing that, it's not a problem, because since writing that book, I have gone like back and forth on like how much I share online and such, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know, do I want to be an open book now, or do I want to be more private? And so it's like, I feel like I've found a decent balance recently, where it's like, okay, you don't need to know everything, but the things that really made an impact and the things that others can, learn from and even are probably going through themselves, then I feel like that's worth sharing. And that needs a little more emphasis and in depth